Alright, so, this was a documentary I decided to choose because I don't think I've talked about any documentaries, nor will I ever for the rest of this series. So why not go with one that's a two-parter? Alright, Olympia from another female director. No controversies at all. So it's going to be a little hard to talk about and try to recommend a documentary from the 30s because one, I don't think people care about the Olympics all too much, and two, it's from the 30s. So unless you're interested in that, then go ahead. So the two names are Olympic Festival of the Nations and Festival of Beauty. I don't know which one's first, but the longer one is the first one. And so they got together. If you try to watch them at the same time, it'll go out to about 3 hours. And it's just people doing sports. It's men and women doing sports from the 30s. A lot of dead athletes that, they're not sporting anymore. And I don't know how impressive all the feats are. There's a lot of feet in the film, but all these feats are just because at this point, it's probably all been broken, all these records, all these so it's not that impressive. Now, Olympics being filmed go all the way back to 1912. At least that's the earliest one that Criterion sells, because you can actually buy this and a bunch of other Olympic films in this huge box set that's like $300. It's not as talked about as, say, like the Fellini or the Cassavetes or the Bergman, the Agnes Varda one, the Kawara one, the Godzilla one. Basically, it's another box set from Criterion that you could buy, and this is where I guess you'd find the film if you want to own it. And it cost about I don't know, $396. So yeah, or I guess you could get it for 158.98 cents during a half off sale. Tax is not included in any of those, by the way. Now, while it might sound like I'm underselling it, it is actually quite entertaining and a little heart pounding to be watching these athletes trying to be like, oh, who's gonna be who's winning who. Or it's a little fun to look at the old flags of the countries. So like, oh, like we don't use those. Like the American flag doesn't even have 50 stars. That weird Italian flag that's probably being used. There's a very strange flag that's being used for Germany, the host country. All right, yeah. So for my favorite stuff was definitely watching like the track, mainly because Jesse Owens, is that his name? I could probably look it up. I'm not going to. But he's like the only other athlete that I would know from this time. So it's like, yeah, I know that person from history. I think there's a movie about him, right? I'm really underselling this, actually, like a fantastic feat of documentary filmmaking, specifically sports documentary. Anyone tell you that the slow-mo here is amazing. All right, go watch the diving board scene. Oh my god, it's great. But the first time you see it, it's when people are like throwing the disc. I don't know what that sport's called. It doesn't even look like a sport. I could probably do that with a frisbee. It probably is not a frisbee though. And I'm like, oh, it hits you out of nowhere. I'm like, wow, like it's great. And they keep using it. My favorite, it's probably for the high jump. You could really get like, you get so tense seeing like, oh, is this person's like, are they gonna touch it? Are they gonna touch it? I don't even know how, like, what's 2 meters? Come on. It didn't translate for us. Oh, the whole film is actually shot in German. So, but there is this fun part where you see like the announcers for like the different countries. You see like the French one and the American one and like one in like Japanese. But anyway, I don't know. If you don't want to watch Triumph for the Will, because that's like a technical masterpiece, then you have this film to watch. It's like slightly racist, I guess, but it's the 30s. I'd be disappointed if my films weren't slightly racist in the 30s, alright? If I watch an old film made before 2012 and there's no like sort of bigotry, it's not real. Yeah, I do like this Leni Riefenstahl. I'm not sure if these are actually like the first time that slow-mo is being used. I guess Kubrick used a lot of slow-mo in his films, and there's like 3 instances of slow-mo in Seven Samurai, but they're really breathtaking. So if you want to say like, okay, let's go all the way back, you go watch this. Watch this. Watch it.